So I got this great question in the comments that I just thought I'd make a video about, and it's from David Lowe. You and others often mention real-time LUTs, but I don't quite understand how they are advantageous when it's so simple to apply an adjustment layer to the timeline above your footage. Using an adjustment layer also has the added benefit of not being baked into the footage during filming. Or are real-time LUTs more about previewing a specific look during filming to help with exposure and color decisions on the spot? I'd love to hear your thoughts. First of all, thank you, David, for that question. And, the reason I wanted to just kind of make a video about this is because, it is kind of a common question. And I think when it comes down to it, a lot of the decisions that we make, whether you're a filmmaker, commercial filmmaker, a pro videographer, a hobbyist, whatever that might be, a content creator, whatever that might be, a lot of these little decisions that we make kind of along the creative process, can really affect our videos, or in some cases, photography, that type of thing too. And I really think when it comes down to the real-time LUT and the kind of the basis for it, and I think why Panasonic Lumix kind of went that route with the real-time LUT is, yes, to bake in that creative look into your image for faster turnaround, especially for content creators. Now, they kind of had, some My Photo styles. You were able to upload LUTs, I don't really remember how many cameras back it was, but they went heavy into the real-time LUT, like being able to upload like 39 creative looks to your camera with the Lumix S9. And that was a content creator geared, focused camera. And I think what that allows you to do is, especially with, that MP4 light shooting style as well, is allows you to bake in that look so that you can basically just send it to your phone and then upload it right to your social media or whatever that might be. There's a couple different reasons. Yes, I do firmly believe that probably the best way, especially if you're doing commercial work, is to shoot in the Vlog color profile, because that is going to just give you a lot more control in post when it comes to, that finished product, right? You're going to be able to apply those adjustment layers. You're going to really be able to heavy color grade, if you need to, that footage for some of those projects. But like I said, it does kind of come down to some of the creative decisions, or maybe what it comes down to is some of the workflow decisions that goes into those deliverables or whatever content that you're trying to get out, whether it's for a client or for yourself. I think a lot of those little decisions kind of affect, the overall workflow and look of your video. What I like about the real-time LUT, 100% like, is that it does give you a faster workflow if you want to use it that way. I will say this, the ability with some of these real-time LUTs. So let's say you do have some flexibility. Like, I have so many thoughts going through my head. You do have some flexibility with the real-time LUT because you can create a Vlog base for your real-time LUT. And what that's going to allow you to do is still give you that dynamic range within that creative look. So let's say you go into DaVinci Resolve, and this video is definitely not a tutorial on the real-time LUT. I just wanted to sit down and have a conversation about it because I thought it was a great question. But you can go in, create a LUT in like DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, whatever you're using, and actually have the Vlog base to that LUT. And then when you apply it to the camera, you're going to have that, it recognizes it as a Vlog base. So you're still going to have that dynamic range within that, creative look. And so technically, you could go and, I like this about the real-time LUT. Let's say you have 39 clients, right? You could create a different look and shoot in that color profile, that real-time LUT, for each one of those clients. I said this in one of my videos, maybe you have a client that kind of has like a vintage theme to it, to their business. Create a vintage look, or go download mine down in the description. Create that vintage look and always shoot for that client in that look. Or maybe you have somebody that's, wants a clean, modern look to their videos. Create a look for them, customize that look for them, upload that to your Lumix camera, and then shoot in that color profile for that client. And so I think it just kind of speeds up the process. And I like this because a lot of production, especially a lot of the production that I'm doing right now, it's speed based, right? It's quick turnaround stuff. I've been shooting a lot of stuff here in the studio. And so my goal in the next, month or two is to really dial in a studio look. And so what I'm going to do is shoot in that real-time LUT, that creative look that I create for this studio. Like everything, all those podcasts, all those, talking head videos will be shot in that creative look specifically designed for this studio. I haven't done that yet, but at the time of recording this, I haven't done it. But hopefully in the next couple of months, by the time this video comes out, I really want to dial in, the color. I want to sit down with a color chart and dial in that color for shooting in this space. That way I know that I can always have the lights at the same setting, right? I can always have the lights at the same setting, same intensity, all that. I pretty much always shoot at 5600K. Anyway, so like having the hair light, key light, all of those remain the same. I never have to change those. And then I know that when I shoot with these Lumix cameras in the studio for some of those video podcasts, it's always going to be the same thing. And I can really dial in that look. And I know that it's going to be great, because I would feel good about it because I got to create it. That's the big thing. On commercial work, if I'm on set or whatever, I'm still shooting in Vlog. Because, well, let me go back. It really depends on the situation. A lot of times I'm shooting in Vlog. There are a few times I can think of, especially if I'm sending the footage off and I'm not like editing it. If I'm sending it to somebody else to edit, I will shoot in a creative look so that they don't have to worry about, some editors aren't familiar with Vlog, right? They're used to other cameras, other log profiles. I will shoot in a creative look, a real-time LUT for some of those clients that I hand those files off to. If I know that I'm going to be editing it and it's going to be a little bit more involved than rather than just social media or something like that, I will shoot in the Vlog color profile and color grade as I edit those files. So it really does vary. And I like the real-time LUT. Even on the Lumix Lab app, that new app, well, at the time of shooting this, fairly new app that Lumix released, the Lumix Lab app, you can actually create LUTs really easily in that. And that's what that whole process is for, is like you shoot, send to your phone, upload. I think that was even in some of Lumix's marketing, was like basically skip the edit piece of it, right? For creators, for content creators who are looking for a little bit faster of a workflow. But basically shoot, then post and kind of skip that middle piece of editing, and the color grading is definitely a big piece of that. So the real-time LUT, yes, you can definitely use it as a monitoring LUT. You can set it as, your preview LUT if you want kind of that finished, what it would look like with that finished look. You can go into the camera and set that so that you can monitor with that real-time LUT or creative look, and kind of get a good basis of where your finished product would be. But I mean, they're all decisions that you kind of have to figure out in your workflow. If you find that shooting in Vlog, putting adjustment layer on and going that route, if you have that process down, I mean, for real, like, all means, like, keep doing that, whatever works best for you. For me, it definitely depends on the situation. It definitely depends on the type of video shoot that I'm doing. I mean, even when it comes to like the settings that I'm shooting in, right? Like, am I going to shoot in an open gate setting? Am I shooting for social media? Am I shooting interviews that will, for somebody's website, that will probably be in a normal 16:9 format, that will, a lot of those things, try to determine ahead of time so that you have a good idea going into it. But I do like the real-time LUT and shooting in the real-time LUT and creating real-time LUTs. I've got plenty in the description. Again, you can go download those and put them on your camera and see, if you like shooting in those profiles. But the real-time LUT, I feel like, is definitely a speed thing. I think that's the primary case. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the real-time LUT, and are you using the real-time LUT? Is it something that you've applied to your workflow? Let me know in the comments. We can get a conversation started down there. So David, hopefully that kind of addresses what your question was. Let me just look at it one more time just to make sure. I'm just going to bring it up one more time. Adjustment layer. It does bake in the color, yes, but you can have a Vlog base to it. So a little bit more flexibility than shooting in like a natural color profile or the standard color profile. You will still have some of that dynamic range within that creative look still. So speed thing, creative thing, a dependent thing on what you're shooting for. But I thought this was a good conversation worth having, definitely. I have a couple videos about, color and applying color to your Panasonic Lumix footage. Make sure you check those out on the channel. Again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and we can definitely talk more about this real-time LUT. Do you like the real-time LUT? Do you think it's worth playing around with? Do you think it's just kind of like a cheesy feature that Lumix put out? Let me know down in the comments, and we can definitely keep this conversation going.